Sanam offering a pick a card reading, actually a pick a hexagram reading. So looking at the I Ching and not pulling from the actual, not looking at that book, but looking at the Book of Changes. So I encourage you, if one of these hexagrams stands out, to actually look that up if you have access to the I Ching. I believe there are versions online, so you might be able to get additional information and insight. It is a book that requires a mindful presence to absorb, should it feel a fit for you. I've pre-shuffled today, have some channeled messages, and have a deck out for additional confirmation should we need. As with any reading or advice, ideally this is timeless and finds you when you need it and you receive the guidance you need. And at the same time, you have free will and choice. So please use your discernment and listen intuitively. I will list timestamps down below and appreciate your listening, following, sharing, and subscribing. So now. If this first hexagram stood out to you, what cycles are coming to completion and what is being reevaluated from within? I did pre-shuffle all the cards, and when I went to record, there was lots of outside noises and distractions. And what I took from this was timing, divine timing. While the energy might be there, there might be some momentum, drive, some action steps on your part and the material. I feel like there might be some patience required or some work behind the scenes, or some things just haven't quite come together, and yet it is turning in your favor is the sense that I got. So let's look. Standstill, stagnation. Cycles can complete and regeneration is possible with inspired action. What are you being called to level up to and do? And it's beautiful to see the Three of Pentacles with the 12 and this particular hexagram. And notice how they are working together. So how are you working together with humans in this lifetime? How are you closing out cycles from previous lifetimes? What are you learning? What are you rebuilding? And how are your guides and ancestors working with you? With the three, we can also think of past, present, and future tense, and how you have all within you that you need to rebuild, learn, and grow. The 9 also tells us in the material that success is here for you, that you are ready and willing to receive. There is more for you to do. It's like with the hexagram being creative heaven and receptive earth, it's you grounding these energies and receiving from above. And it feels like to me that when we have these downloads or this cosmic opening with transits, is that if we're this open channel, we receive, and internally our system propagates, but yet to translate what happens inside to what happens in the material, it's like going from ethers to dense material. It takes some work and effort. And with this card and the idea of standstill, it's getting out of your way and trusting the insights and doing your doing the work, the hard work, instead of praying for an outcome. So rather than being fixed on end game, can you work in stages like stairs, action steps, smarter goals, reassessing and assessing? Pray for the highest good for all. So it's not about you, it's about generations to come. It is about putting forth this new energy on the planet. It is about cycles completing and you rebuilding anew. Managing your energy feels very important to break free of any disillusionment so that you're not having tunnel vision as you create. So working through multiple layers to build. So trying your best to rise up, to receive the frequencies and downloads you need, and yet grounding with some hard work here on this planet. Let's see, do we need any additional insights? Go ahead and look up the number 12 and see if you, this idea of bridging the gap between the past and the present and the future seems huge. Sit with what you receive and be willing to receive new guidance beyond what your brain believes is possible for you, this planet. Think of momentum and learning. And if you're redirected, being open and willing to take another look and climb another mountain. I do hope this serves well. Sending lots of love your way. If the second hexagram called to you, be mindful of what's in store for you. What are you after? And why? Are you willing to believe in something more for yourself? So number 27 to 9, corners of the mouth. Corners of the mouth, to me, is that smile. My teacher used to speak to that embodied response to stimuli in ways that allowed you to separate phenomenon from, separate the storyline, separate belief systems to truth. And when is it time to make a move? And how is spirit directing that move for you? Manifesting the 2 is seeing that bigger picture, while the 9 of Wands recognizes there is some healing here and relearning based on previous experiences. The message I received for you is the true test of your faith shows itself in your ability to see beyond this time to what shall be. So really holding true and sitting with the energy of what you were brought here to transmute. And it was such a blessing to receive this card after receiving this message for you, just reiterating your test of faith, and the owl being the wisdom, the moon being the cycles. When I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. What you experience is real. What you experienced in the past and how you go through and grow through these opportunities of not being as rattled, or using the rattling to awaken you to your higher calling, your higher purpose, because it is here, it is near, and your time not only is dear here on this planet, but it's like, dear heart, trust your intuition. Dear soul, don't believe the lies you are told. Keep working with the energies of the past and transmute them. Notice what's rattling you from the inside out, or how the external is asking you to revisit who you came here to be. Leaning on faith when the ground is pulled out from under you. Is part of the process of you delivering your message, being of service, and being the light on this planet. And there are lessons, and there's more to awaken to through your calm presence, your grounded action, the sage response rather. And it's like choosing your battles and fighting a good fight rather than stirring or stewing. And so the corners of the mouth is speaking your truth, and so showing it not with a mask, but inherent truth of the reality that you know your guidance from above. You know and believe in who you came to be, and being willing to unravel and become that. And being willing to take another look within and around you with a new lens, to see the bigger picture, to see the truth, and honor in your experience. Again, I recommend looking at the I Ching to see if you have additional insights. Number 27 for you. Do hope this served well. Thank you for listening. This third hexagram called to you, there may be a message here for you. And there is wisdom within every soul. There's wisdom within you, and there's wisdom within those around you. So being willing to connect. The King of Clubs tells you to manage your energy and speak. And I say speak because he's holding a sword for some reason that's standing out. He, she, all respect to anyone on the gender spectrum are not labeled as he. Cut through resistance energetically. And your hexagram is joyous lake and creative heaven. And it's like the creative heaven bursting through you. And a lake can be like the stagnant waters, right? Comparable to like a soft stream or a fountain, or the way the river turns, for example. And will you let that creative vision within your heart and soul come through? And creativity, that second chakra, can come through in many ways, whether that is expressing your emotion, whether that is allowing love and creative expression sexually as a way of connecting heaven on earth and letting your heart speak. 43-7, learning from the past rather than allowing it to hold you back. The channel message I got for you is matters of the heart require an intention far greater than the mind can conceive. And you have wands out, not swords. And maybe the breakthrough is breaking through what you think, which is different from what I originally thought. with the swords there. Maybe it is revisiting. And notice here how this almost has a split. There's a divide. And how has the mind created a divide from who you connect with and how? The Four of Wands, the 1111 card. So if the numbers 1111 speak to you, consider the fruits of your labor. Sometimes we can't think our way to the other side of our pain or the other side of what our heart wants. Our heart... Sometimes when we investigate with the mind, we get entangled. Rather, think of the wisdom of the deer. The deer frolics, the deer knows like how to connect and love, right? It doesn't question that moment to frolic. It doesn't question that moment to sit, under a tree. Like, not to question your castle in the sky where your heart wants to take you. Your card. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. So to me, this is like dream bigger, think bigger. And notice how the petals are opened up to receive, to catch what you need. What if it's time to play ball? What if it's time to open up? What if the universe will hold you? What if it's okay to fall in love again? Or for real this time? Beyond the boundaries of your mind. It's time to break through the energetic resistance and allow the illusions of the past to fade, to bring forth this new joyous future for you. Take the time to receive and see anew and believe everything is possible for you. I don't know whether to say skipping a jump. Maybe it's time to just bring like a little playful nature to your days. I encourage you to look up 43 in the I Ching. I do hope this served well. Thank you for listening. Sending lots of love your way. I'm super excited for you, for your future. If this fourth hexagram called to you, there may be a message here for you. A love. Look at the balance in this card. How is your intuition speaking through? And how are you kindly receiving? The pains of the past don't have to hold you back, nor do you need to carry the burdens. So your hexagram is 38 opposition, clinging flame, and the joyous lake. And water and fire can work together. Your flame and your emotional experience can come into balance. Your channeled message. Opportunities present as you are willing to receive. What do you see? What do you see when you look inside? What do you see when you take inventory of how you spend your time and energy? What you hold to, what you're carrying around? What do you see and feel when the lens of the pain is all you believe there is on this planet? Are you willing to broaden the lens to see something more? There's more on your journey for you. What are you telling yourself is true? And while there is suffering and heartache and change and choice, and yes, the pain is real, there is more than that. Even when you see the Dalai Lama and all his wisdom, he still laughs. And so while the pain you feel is no longer is not a laughing matter, the blessing comes in transmuting that energy to receive. And is someone else throwing their burdens at you? Are you throwing your burdens at someone else? Are you throwing words at someone else? Or someone else throwing words at you? And how can you bring love and kindness to the situation? Oh, an overall balance for your life. Attack, pain, fear, and judgment, any form of separation, are merely cause for help. And so how do you see yourself needing support? How do you see others showing a need for support? And you don't have to carry it all yourself. You can offer it up. You can speak new ways of seeing and believing into existence. You can bring joy, light, and laughter with every step you take. You can surrender and see anew. Will you receive love? Will you receive connection? And notice how it funnels. The universe funnels into you. But there has to be, like, you can't plug it up. You have to let it in. And as you let in new emotions, new energies, you make way for new. And maybe it's time to look up at the stars. Maybe it's time to find a new vantage point. Maybe it's time to get out in nature. Maybe it's time for you to receive. Like, put your foot down and walk away, or speak kindly to you. What load are you carrying, and how can you rebuild for you? And rather than holding, will you receive? And you can't, there's only so much that you can take on and take in. And the pain might be the block, or the perception of the pain. There might be something more to learn to break free of, and then everything, the floodgates will open up. And maybe that's part of the fear, is that if you look at the pain, if we acknowledge it, then the floodgates, it'll be overwhelming and too much. But what if there is something more, or the way that you're speaking to yourself, or the way the experience is showing itself is saying, time for another look, time to rebalance the scales. Harmony is a possibility, and it requires your effort. It's up to you to hold. It's up to you to let go. It's up to you to take on. It's up to you to look up. It's a choice. It's up to you to release the pain. Why would you avert from it? And what is really calling for attention here? The reality is you deserve more. And the choice is yours to go after it, receive it, and open up to it. I encourage you to look up the hexagram, number 38, to learn more, to see if there's additional insights for you. Thank you for listening. Do hope this served well. So if you're a deck fan, the decks I pre-shuffled from are The Universe Has Your Back. Started to take a look at the I Ching, pulling from the I Ching Oracle, which also has a guidebook. Did put out the 5-cent tarot for you in case we needed any additional insight, but sorry, did not use them. The Ethereal Visions and the Aura playing card deck. Do hope this served well. Thank you for all your support listening, and do hope this serves well. My intention is to inspire you on your journey to shine your light. Your light is needed. Satnam.